Hello, and welcome to this introduction to using IBM SQL Services with CoolSpools. In this video, we'll look at extracting data from the IBM system to XML and Excel. IBM SQL Services are part of the IBM operating system and allow you to obtain system information with a simple SQL select statement. Each IBM operating system release introduces additional IBM services, and examples of the type of information that can be obtained are object information, job information, system configuration information, license and PTF information, and output queue and spool file information. Since CoolSpools allows you to convert the results of any SQL select statement to a variety of output formats, you can use CoolSpools with IBM SQL Services. This allows you to easily convert system information to Excel or XML. There are a large number of IBM services available, and you can find an exhaustive list on the IBM website under the support pages. If you look through this list, you can see that you can drill down on each entry by clicking on its name in order to see additional information about the record set returned and examples of how to call that particular SQL service. Now, let's use one of the services on that page in order to extract user information from our IBM server to an XML document. We'll use the CVTDBFXML command to convert from the IBM database to XML. And if we press F4 to prompt that command, we can see that rather than specifying a database file name, we're using the special value *SQL to tell CoolSpools that we're using a SQL select statement as the source of the data to convert. We're then specifying the name of the XML document that we want to generate, so user list.xml, and we're specifying that if there's already a document with that name, we're happy to replace it. For page down, then we can see the parameter where we enter the SQL statement. And we're selecting the user name and the user status from the user info basic view, which is documented as one of the IBM SQL services. If we page down again, we can see the XML parameters, which allow us to specify the root element, so user profile list will be the parent element of our whole document, and then the element name that corresponds to the individual rows within our record set. So user profile corresponds to each user within the return data. And this is the XML document that's generated when we run that simple CoolSpools command. So the root element, the parent element for the document, is named user profile list. And there's an element named user profile for each user record. And each user record contains the username and the status. So you can see how easy it is to extract system information from your IBM to XML. So now let's look at another example. This time, we're selecting job information from the IBM service named Active Job Info. And we've placed our SQL select statement in its own source member. That makes it easier to read and maintain than when we place the entire SQL statement within the parameters of the CoolSpools command. Our select statement is returning job information such as the subsystem, the job name, and the job status. And the where clause is selecting only those rows that have a status of message wait. You can see full details of the data elements that are returned by the Active Job Info service in the IBM documentation. Now let's look at the CL program that contains the CoolSpools command to use that SQL source member. This time we're using ConvertDBFXLSX to convert to Excel. And if we prompt the command, we can see that we're using the special value *SQL source instead of *SQL. That tells CoolSpools that we're still running a SQL select statement, but this time that statement is contained in its own source member. Again, we're specifying the name of the document that we're creating, a spreadsheet named Jobs in Message Weight, and we're specifying that we want to replace that document if it already exists. If we page down, we can see that the parameters allow you to specify the source file and source member that contain our SQL select statement. And if we page down again, you'll see that this time we're also sending our spreadsheet as an email attachment. So in order to send it as an email, we need to specify parameters such as the email subject line, and if we page down, also the recipient of that email. We could specify individual email addresses, but in this case we're using an address list named management. The address list contains a number of email addresses, and using this method means that as people join and leave the management team, we don't need to change the CL program every time, we just change the membership of that address list. Now, if I page down again, you'll see the final parameter that we need to specify is the message body, the body text of our email message. And when we run this CL program, we're sent an email. If we open the email, we can see that it has this Excel spreadsheet as an attachment. And if we launch that spreadsheet, then we can see that it contains a list of the jobs on our IBM server that have a status of message weight. So hopefully this guide has shown you how easy it is to extract data from your IBM server using a combination of CoolSpools and IBM Services. You can find more information about the CoolSpools commands that we've shown you today on our website, www.coolspools.com.